Hello math learners, so for today's video we are going to continue our lesson and that is all about the formulating statistical research. So part 2 na tayo. So in my last video, so I already discussed the formulating statistics, the introduction here, so and then the model. Then now we are going to proceed here. So every research needs participants or respondents. Syempre naman, if your research has no respondents, your efforts in your research is nonsense. Okay? Like in performance. A performance without an audience is nonsense. Like, para kayong, like, magano ka performance, wala naman nanonood sa inyo. Diba? That is nonsense. So, the group of people, objects, or items used as representatives to make inference about the populations are called sample. When you say sample, that is the thing that you are trying to do. Okay? A sample is an unbiased number of observations taken from the population. So, as you can see here, so wait. I can use my tripod. As you can see that N stands as the population. Okay? When we say population, it is the entire group where samples are down. Okay? So sample, you can say sample, that is the subset of the population. So note that the size of the sample is always less than the total size of the population. Okay? Is always less than. Bakit po kaya? So now, by computing the sample size in a population, so we are going to use the Slovin's formula. That is used to determine the number of sample size out of the given population. It is given as n is equal, so what the small n stands for? The sample. Okay? So that capital N is over 1 plus n times the natural number, or natural number kasi pagka sa mga gen math kaya nasana squared. So where n stands as the sample size. Okay? That capital N that stands as the population size, and E stands as the margin of error. What are those? Okay. Paano po kaya natin ito may apply sa susunod na given? Okay, we have sa first example. Mr. Jeffrey Gonzalez of Vedasto R. Santiago High School wanted to conduct a research about the proficiency level of the grade 10 students in mathematics. He found out that population size of the grade 10 students is 1,250. Find the sample size he needs if the margin of error is 5%. The margin error, yung error po sa population. So your capital N is 150. Your population size. So ibig sabihin 100 to 1,250 ang students niya. So, we have some given. So, where n is equal to 1,250 and your margin of error is 5%. If you're going to convert into decimal places, to a decimal form, you just multiply the 5 to 100s. Okay? Or you are going to multiply that number to 0.01. Okay. So, or simply move from here. Halimbawa, ito yung 5. Halimbawa, ito yung 5. How are you going to convert into decimal place to a decimal form? Or count 1, 2. So, this is your point. So, kaya meron kayong 0.05. Okay. So, ngayon, ano natin to? So since we are going to use the Slovin's formula, so where n is equal to 1,250. and your E or your margin of error is equal to 0.05 or 5%. Okay, now we are going to compute. So you are going to square this. So what's the result? So we have 0.0025 or 25 10,000s. Kung babasahin yung in words, pag hindi shortcut. So yun nga, hindi ko nabasa step. So next, solve for the product at the denominator. So ayan, next sumunod naman, you are going to multiply this after, and you got this. Ito yung result. Then you are going to simplify. So 1 plus 3.125 or 3 and 125 thousandths. So it equal to 4.125. So you are going to divide. So this is your answer. This is your answer. So sample needed is 303. So you are going to estimate to the nearest ones, just to be exact. Okay. Next given, population of a big university in Bulacan is 35,000. Big university, ano kaya yung mga big university? Kahit taga rito ako, di ko alam. So, basta big university is 35K or 35,000. So, calculate the sample size needed by a researcher if the margin of error is 5%. As a researcher, di ba? Ilan ba ang mga karaniwang tinatanong nyo? Survey, di ba? Na ganon, yun po sa research. Okay, 5%. So, you're given N is equal to 35,000. So, again, what the N stand, the small n, the sample size. You're going to find the sample size. Then, your percentage again is 5%. Kaya kung i-convert nyo, ito. Okay. So, ganun lang. Simplify nyo. So, ito, square nyo ito at ito ang lalabas. Then, multiply nyo ito. Ito ang lumabas. Kung di ako nagkakamali. And 1 plus 87.5 is 88.5. Then, divide. So, kung ganito, I suggest that you may use a calculator para hindi na kayo ganun karaming magso-solution. You need, if you want to, you can use calculator just to make your computation easy. So, your sample needed is 395. So, you are going again to simplify, to estimate it to the nearest one. So, ano po ba ang katabi ng 5? Yung 4. So stay lang. Kaya 395 instead of 396. So, sampling method. So, meron tayong sampling method pag ano sa ating research. So, sampling method is the process by which entities of sample are chosen. In order to draw a valid conclusion from the result, you need to carefully decide how will your samples be selected to represent the group as whole. So, we have the two types of sampling methods of probability sampling. This involves a random selection, allowing you to make statistical inferences about the whole group. So, it's divided into two. We have simple random sampling. So, in a simple random sampling, every number of the population has an equal chance of being selected. Your sampling frame should include the whole population. Second one is systematic sampling. So, systematic sampling is similar to simple random sampling, but it is usually slightly easier to conduct. Every member of the population is listed with a number instead of randomly generating number. Individuals are chosen at regular intervals. As you can see, sa simple, it may be randomly. Halimbawa, parang pinipili, halimbawa, paano ba kayo nagka-counting ng groupings yung sa face-to-face class niyo? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, gano'n. Hanggang sa, dadaan sa 4 para makatungtong ulit sa 1. Then, 4 ulit, 1. So, bakit ba? Sorry, 5 pala. Sorry, 5. So, ganun lang. Sa systematic. And dito sa random, halimbawa, 1, 2, 1, 2. Like magulo, ganyan. Walang sistema. talaga. Hindi po pala yon systematic kapag magulo. That is simple random. Like, sa recitation nyo, sa index card, dun siya applicable. So, simple random. Stratified. Stratified sampling involves dividing the population into subpopulations that may differ in important ways. It allows you to draw more precise conclusions by ensuring that every subgroup is properly represented in the sample. So, yun, kasi makita nyo. Dividing the populations. Ang bawa, kung like naka-divide na siya, you are going to divide it again. Next, cluster sampling. Cluster sampling also involves dividing the population into subgroups. But each subgroup have similar characteristics to the whole sample. Instead of sampling individuals from each group, you randomly select entire subgroups. Like, ang bawa, ako, I rather choose this or this. Randomly. Sabi nila randomly. Diba? Next. So, next we have non-probability sampling. So, this involves non-random selection on convenience or other criteria, allowing you to easily collect initial data. So, number one is convenience sampling. So, a convenience sample simply includes the individuals who happen to be most accessible to the researcher. So, that means you are going convenience sampling. Next, voluntary response sampling. Similar to a convenience sample. So, ito, I forgot to explain. So, you are going to do a research, you are going to interview someone, diba? So, here. So, next, voluntary response sampling. Ito, ma-applicable siya sa election. Minsan sa rally, you are voluntary to join the rally. Ganun lang, no? So, halimbawa, when it comes to BBM, to Lenny, Isko, Ping, Pacquiao, or Calyodi, or Abelia, ganon. You are voluntary to join with them. You are voluntary to vote for them. Diba? Yun po yung sa response sampling. Okay. Next, purposive sampling. So, this type of sampling, also known as judgment sampling, involves the researcher using their expertise to select a sample that is most useful to the purpose of the research. So, sige, apply natin siya sa isang recitation. Your teacher was called the student. Depends if the student was listened to her attentively or not. As usual, that the teacher calls a student who are not really listened to her or him attentively. Ganun po yung sa purposive sampling. Halimbawa, tinawag yung isa. Ang dami nagtataas ng kamay, pero yung isa ang tinawag na hindi nagtataas ng kamay. That means she calls or he called a student that who don't listen attentively. Okay? Next, snowball sampling. If the population is hard to access, snowball sampling can be used to recruit participants via other participants. The number of people you have access to snowballs as you get in contact with more people. Kasi sa teacher ulit, balik tayo sa recitation. Halimbawa si teacher, alam niyo naman siguro basta-basta ko sila batuhin nyo. Like, yung tawag ng teacher, like, trip lang. Halimbawa, yes, ganon, di ba? Like, kung sino-sino ang tatawagin, either nakataas ang kamay or hindi. Okay, yun. Now, so we have the significant. Now, let us discuss this last segment of our lesson. So, significant benefits of doing mini research in mathematics. So, it depends understanding of what it means to do mathematics. Second, it develops mastery of mathematics topics. It builds confidence and enthusiasm to do more. It enhances creativity and problem-solving skills and improves the critical thinking skill. That is the purpose of mini research in mathematics. Sabi natin in research, it expands your knowledge. The next. So, well done. So, ayun. Yun na yung ating last lesson sa ating mathematics. Yun, wala na tayong next discussion. So, for those who are grade 10 who watch this, so congratulations and you survive in your grade 10 journey. So, I hopefully that if you are coming senior high school, that you can also survive. That like how you survive in your mathematics 10 journey. Okay, so sa mga nanonood na grade 10, so para sa marami pang lessons sa naman tayo sa senior high school. So I already posted my vlog about the general mathematics, pre-calculus, basic calculus, and statistics and probability. I already say that general mathematics. So ayun, sa apat na yon makikita nyo pa ako sa senior high. So I accomplished pre-calculus, the Gen Math. Ayun lang. So, thanks for watching and see you in my senior high school mathematics content. So, yun. Congratulations and you survived your grade 10 journey.